Hello people, Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube segment. I'm going to be giving a review and an experience or experiences that I've had at this not so awesome Smith's grocery store that is located in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is on 10600 Southern Highlands Parkway. And really, the experience has not exactly been, really stupendous there. I go in there, all the time. I, follow the rules. I leave my bag at the customer service place. I do my shopping, and then I leave. But for some perplexing reason, these employees there, think I, need to be watched or scrutinized, and it just doesn't make any sense. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's a shame. I think a lot of it is attributed to us being in a very superficial society, where we're judged by appearance. The fact I'm in marginalized society because I'm somebody that doesn't drive due to my physical restrictions, and I don't always dress really well, and admittingly, I've gone in there, lately I've had, a hole in my pants, and I know, how life can be, that we often are judged superficially, but it shouldn't really be about that. But anyway, most recent experience, at the time of this video, that I'm making, that I had there, like I was coming out of the restroom, right, and at the store, and right when I approached the couple workers there, they conveniently, dispersed. They ended their conversation, and see, I understand there can be coincidences, but this has happened way too many times to be a coincidence. The expression, too many coincidences are not, a coincidence. And there's this female manager that especially, kind of follows me around there. Number of occasions I'll be, getting items somewhere, perusing, some section, or trying to see what I want to get, and she'll be in the vicinity, and as soon as I select the item, she conveniently turns around and then goes about her business and does something else. And it's a shame that people have to act like that, because it really doesn't incentivize people to actually come into the store. People will say, it's funny how you'll have some of these, grocery outlets that'll complain, well, our customer, amount of customers have diminished, and they'll complain about this, but yet they don't give the incentive for the people to continually to come back in the store. It's like contradictory, and people need to realize that we all should be respected. It doesn't matter, if we go in wearing, an executive outfit, or we come in wearing very casual attire. And the thing too is, sometimes people in life are done by speculation and supposition. It's not about any actual proof of what a person has in somebody. It's about what they think and believe based on rumors and what people say, grumblings and so forth and so on. And the thing about this is that we have to understand, too, that we don't, like when you're working, whether it's retail or, especially you're dealing with the public, like a retail outlet in general, you don't know what that customer is going through prior to him or her entering the establishment. I mean, I could be somebody going through a lot of adversity and dealing with a lot of trials and tribulations, and then when you act in a manner that's disrespectful to me, that's just going to add insult to abject misery, and you're going to feel worse about yourself a lot of times leaving the store. I actually am going through, a lot of stuff, but I'm a fairly even-tempered person. I have a lot of restrictions in my life. I don't, some of you, know that I have the irrevocable nerve damage, and I can't, which prohibits me from doing, many different things. I'm an older person. I'm 54 right now. I'm alone. I don't have really many people in my life. I still have not found that significant other. And the thing about that is, though, it goes to the point where you just don't have, the people that were, I understand people aren't mind readers, but it would be nice if you had like the people, to just figure there is that possibility that this customer going into the store may be enduring a lot in his or her life, and we need to make sure that we're, respectful, to him, her. When I go into the store, I do nothing to cause any problems with anybody. I'm the kind of person that'll even pick up some items that are on a, laying on the, one of the aisles that have come off one of the counters. But and another thing about the store too, it's not even just the unnecessary watching. It's also just, the fact that these people are, like in many other stores, are very aloof, detached. They're very unfriendly. They're just very engrossed in what they're doing, and they're not even really, concerned about doing anything for the customer. At least it doesn't seem like they do anyway. I mean, they seem very oblivious, like they're only about themselves. And I'm not saying that they're all like that, or these workers won't help a customer in need, because if somebody requests to help, I mean, I understand they will likely help that customer. And I looked even on the Google reviews that there was at least 2 reviews, and there's probably more, there may be much more than that, where they didn't exactly get stupendous ratings on there. Somebody was unhappy due to an experience with with an employee there, and it's basically, what people have to learn is that it's the people skills too. And there's ways of being disagreeable without being disputatious, and there's the thing called tact and diplomacy, in really being, being respectful and mindful to the customer. And you don't know, also, it's not just about what a customer may be going through, prior to him or her entering the establishment. You have to understand there's some people that are more sensitive than others, or more emotional. You might even be dealing with somebody that might be volatile, and you certainly don't want to make that person, infuriated or enraged. I mean, you have to, understand, that you're dealing with human beings when they come to the store. I may not dress the best. I may be part of marginalized society. I may be on a close to, if not, poverty level income, but I'm still a person. I'm a human being, and I need to be treated as such. So, I mean, those are things that one has to consider, when you're going into, when you're dealing, with the public and the customers. And the thing is, the most recent experience, again, I was coming out of the restroom, and as I'm about to leave the store, there's 2 employees, conveniently talking right in my, passageway where I'm walking. And right about the time when I approached them, they conveniently dispersed and ended their conversation. And what I did was, I actually approached both of these people. I approached the employee, and she just said something, "Oh, don't worry about it," or some kind of blew it off. And then when I went to the manager, I said, "I noticed you took off," or something to that effect, right when I approached her. And she says, "Oh, sorry," or something. And she just kept walking and didn't even proceed to, continue the conversation with me, which I felt, very, it's rude and offensive, to say the absolute least. So, it's a thing called people skills, and being able to interact with the public. And I think what may have happened too, when we had, the COVID crisis, I know it's still going on, but I believe it was more prevalent, like say in 2020, when, a lot of us had gone into, our hibernation introverted mode, and didn't really talk a lot to, other people. And I think, some people may have lost the, people skills during the time. And if you didn't have it to begin with, and then you wind up going into the COVID mode, then it's exacerbating an already negative trait or quality that a person, may have. And I think, and I'm not saying that was the case with these people I'm talking about, but it's a possibility. And you can't, when people act, aloof and indifferent, I mean, why are you going to act like that when a customer wants to air, his or her grievance? You're basically ignoring a person and patronizing them. You're supposed to be there, to help and to resolve a possible issue, not just blow it off, and just, act like it's non-existent. They have to understand, how would they like that if somebody did that to them? If I did that to them, that might exasperate them and really anger a person. You have a lot of people in this world that are very, condescending and patronizing, unfortunately, and I'm sure you've got a number of them at that, particular store. And it's a shame that you have people that will do negative things to others, like employees of that store, for example, watching, someone like me, an innocent person that's just guilty of being himself, when you could have actually given a warm greeting, and that wouldn't even take much effort. It's funny. Made me think of something someone told me one time. I don't remember the exact numbers on this or anything, but something about, when you smile, I don't think you use a lot of bones or anything, but when you frown, it takes a lot more. I don't really, I think that's how it goes. So I guess what I'm saying is, a smile doesn't even really take, that much effort. You're not talking about a strenuous task. It may be harder to put a complete frown on a face in contrast to a smile. That's something to remember. See? Not so hard, right? And yeah, the thing is, I go into a different environment. You think people would just be a little bit, nicer or something. And, a lot of these people at grocery stores are basically, a lot of them are the same no matter where you go, I guess. And, just aloof and unfriendly. And, and it's just terrible. It's got to be that way, not just aloof and unfriendly, but to do things to you that are unwarranted. If you want to be aloof, you want to be distant, you don't want to say anything, but that's fine, but at least don't do things to the customer's detriment and make it an uncomfortable experience for him or her. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this, review, my experience at Smith's grocery store. And until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.